Imagine this, a massive tsunami is racing across the ocean at nearly 500 miles per hour. It's powerful enough to flatten coastal cities and sink ships on the surface. But what about submarines? What happens if a tsunami hits them? Are they safe? Or doomed? First, let's consider submarines on the surface. If a submarine is in shallow waters or inside a harbor when a tsunami arrives, the situation is extremely dangerous. Tsunamis are not just big waves, they are fast-moving walls of water that turn into devastating floods as they reach land. A surface submarine could be slammed into rocks, capsized, or thrown against port structures. But here's something surprising: in the open ocean, even a submarine at the surface might barely notice a tsunami. In deep water, a tsunami's wave height is often less than a meter. It only grows tall and destructive when it approaches the coast. Now, what if the submarine is already underwater? This is where things get interesting. Once a submarine dives beyond 100 to 200 meters, it is actually very safe. Tsunami waves mainly affect the upper layers of the ocean. The deeper you go, the less movement there is. For a submarine hundreds of meters down, a tsunami passing overhead is almost unnoticeable. However, submarines operating in shallow coastal waters still face risks. Strong currents and turbulence caused by the tsunami could make navigation difficult and possibly damage equipment. To understand this better, let's look at a real-world example. On July 30, 2025, a powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. It triggered a tsunami that hit Rybashi, Russia's main nuclear submarine base in Avacha Bay, just 75 to 120 kilometers from the epicenter. Satellite images later revealed serious damage. One of the piers was broken and twisted, almost torn away by the tsunami's force. Fortunately, no submarines were docked at that pier at the time, and experts reported no signs of damage to the submarines themselves. This event is a reminder that while submarines deep underwater can be safe, the surface infrastructure that supports them, like docks and naval bases, remains extremely vulnerable to tsunamis. Navies know this well. When a tsunami warning is issued, submarines are often ordered to leave harbors and dive deep into the open sea. Ironically, the safest place during one of the ocean's most destructive events is deep beneath the ocean itself. So, what happens when a tsunami hits a submarine? On the surface near shore, extreme danger. In shallow coastal waters, risky. But deep in the open sea, almost perfectly safe. And as the Russian example showed, the submarines may survive untouched, but the bases that house them can still be torn apart. Next time you hear about a tsunami, remember, while cities and ships may be devastated, submarines hidden deep below the waves will likely glide through, completely unharmed.